Hey, what's up guys, Disney Nuts here. Today I'm going to show you how I edited this. Now the cool thing on this photo, you got that really fast motion movement on the sides where it feels like you're going extra fast speed here on the Expedition Everest. Now I'm going to turn around and we're going to edit the stuff on Photoshop. And I would say that the level of difficulty of this one is probably medium to high. And the reason is that we're going to be playing with layers and some other stuff. And there's a point where we can reach, which is how I got this photo, but we're going to take a couple of more steps so I can show you a little bit how to make it a little bit more realistic. So now without further ado, let's turn around and let's go edit the photo and see what we got. Let's do it. Okay, so we've opened up our photo here in Photoshop. First thing we're going to do is actually duplicate our current layer, which is the background, which is the first layer of our image that we just opened. And the reason for that is that we're going to actually be applying the effect to the top layer, and then using a mask will determine what gets filtered to the one in the back, which is the one that has no effect at all. And we're going to apply the filter, which is the blur one, and we're going to select the radial blur. I'm going to select zoom, which allows those lines to show like we're zooming in. By default it'll be spin, but go ahead and make sure you say zoom. And we select quality best, and we're going to go a good 50 to 53. Let's go ahead with 50. Hit OK. Now depending on your computer and how fast it is, and depending how big the image is and all these other components, depends how long this process will take. So let's go ahead and let it run. Okay, so you can see the effect has been applied to layer 1. And now here is where we're going to be applying a layer mask so we can determine what gets filtered through so we don't have the effect on all the image. And basically we want to single out the stuff of the track so it doesn't have the effect. So we're going to select the first layer here, and going to click on the bottom to the mask button here. And you're going to see that it applies a white mask. And now nothing happened because obviously color white means that stuff will not be allowed to get filtered through, and whatever is black will. Okay, so now that the layer is applied, we need to make sure that our colors are set to black and white, and because default is going to put white. And the reason for that is that since we want to start painting from the inside out to make sure that it gives that really cool effect of slowly seeing the zoom effect. So we're going to go ahead and make sure this is black. Make sure we selected our mask and not the image. We're going to make sure we selected the mask here. And we're going to select this one up here, which is actually the radial gradient, because that will allow a circle from the point of middle that we put as a reference. And the line that I use here is how big do I want to make that circle. Now it doesn't matter the direction that I'm doing, because obviously since it's a circle, which is a radiant gradient, it's going to apply to the whole circle. So I'm going to go ahead and drag this from the inside out. And there you'll see that it has a nice smooth transition until all the way to the corners where the effect is at full blast. And you can see it right there what it actually did. Okay, so one final touch that I like to do on this photo here is actually the cart here. I don't want to give the effect on the cart. Now this is great, but I want to turn this off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my brush. I'm going to put the opacity probably like 80. I'm going to make sure it's black, because black is what's going to let it go through to see the image that's behind it. And it's going to brush over this lightly. And that way the cart or the train that I'm on is actually won't be affected by the effect that we put on here. Now if you want, you can do the same thing of the sky, but this time I'm actually going to bring it a little lower. I'm going to put like 45. And I'm just going to paint over the clouds here a little bit, so that way the clouds don't look like they're being, too much overdone. And there's the effect of zooming in on the image. Hope you guys liked this quick tutorial. If there's any questions or comments, feel free to put them underneath the video below, and I'll hopefully get to you as fast as possible. Again, please subscribe and hit the bell. It helps to keep these videos coming. And until then, guys, stay awesome.